Good morning, guys. Um, I've been getting more and more direct messages or private messages online from a lot of you guys asking me about my journey in aviation so far. So I thought I'd just make a little short video about my journey so far. I started flying when I was 14 years old. Did not have a driver's license yet, but you can start flight training very early. And I believe I got my glider's pilot license at age 15. And then I started, so I did a couple hundred hours of gliding. That was extreme fun. Probably some of the best flying I've ever done in my life, hands down. It's gliding has given me some skills, what we call hand and feet skills in aviation that I would not have gotten elsewhere. So very thankful that I did that in retrospect. From gliding, I then got a private pilot's license. The country that I lived in at the time, you could not do anything higher than a private pilot's license. It was a little island in the South Pacific called New Caledonia. And so I got a private pilot's license there under French rules, European rules at the time. And from there, I decided, you know what, I want to pursue this as a career. So I decided to go to Canada. Canada is well known for its flight training around the world. It's well known for its range of temperatures from summer to winter and all the flying that brings with it, different meteorological conditions. So it makes for a challenging experience and a great learning experience. So I went to Canada, went to a little town called Steinbach in the province of Manitoba, central Canada, and went to a school called Harv's Air. Fantastic school. Look them up if you're thinking of going to flight school. Definitely worth checking them out. They're a lot bigger today. They had 2 bases when I got there. They've still got 2 bases, but they've expanded as far as their base of airplanes and instructors and whatnot, and also their course material has definitely improved over the years. They do a fantastic job. They've got approved flight simulators. You can do your renewals on instrument renewals and whatnot. So fantastic place. Check them out, harvsair.com. Anyways, I know Harvsair is not paying me for this. Did a commercial at Harv's. And that was in 2008. The global recession was hitting. Pilot hiring was at an all-time low. Really wasn't much happening. So what I did was I converted. I used to have a lorry driver's license, or Class 1 driver's license as they call it in North America, to drive heavy lorries. So I converted that to a Canadian license and drove semi-truck for a couple of years. And in 2011, I landed a job bush flying in northern Canada. Started by flying the Cessna 206, passengers, cargo, all that kind of stuff. Challenging flying, very cold in the winter. Those of you that have flown light pistons, single pistons, will know the heat in those airplanes is terrible. So when it's minus 30 degrees Celsius, it does not warm up. It's freezing cold. But dress for the conditions, anorak, snow boots, toque, massive gloves. It makes for a challenging flying. It's hard to feel the rudder pedals and the yoke when you're wearing heavy gloves and heavy boots. Like boots rated down to minus 70. So they're pretty thick and well insulated. But it made for challenging flying. I was upgraded from the 206 to the Caravan. Did about 500 hours turbine on the Caravan. That was a fantastic machine. I'd say I've never flown the Twin Otter, but I would say the Caravan and the Twin Otter are 2 machines that I love. I've flown the Caravan, absolutely love it, and I hope one day I get to fly the Twin Otter as well. 2 fantastic machines in my opinion. So I did that for a few years, and I was supposed to get a job at a different company a few years later, and that didn't pan out. So what I did is I worked at an office job for the better part of a decade. I left aviation altogether, for better or for worse. I'd say probably for better. It gave me a lot of experience. Managed a uh, company of about 300 staff, and we did trucking and logistics across Canada and the US, and that was a bit of my background there, so it was an easy transition, and I absolutely love that. I love the company I worked for. It was probably the best decade of my life in terms of relationships and memories that I will never forget. After about a decade of that, I was feeling a little worn out, a little worn out, I guess you could say, and decided that it was time for a break. So I said to my wife, why don't we go to Vanuatu? Vanuatu is where I'm from, little archipelago in the South Pacific. And I said, why don't we just go there for a year, have a bit of a sabbatical, and then come back to Canada, keep doing what we're doing today, right? And so she said, why not? So we bought a house here in Vanuatu, came back to my roots, and my brother happens to be a pilot for the flag carrier Air Vanuatu, and he said to me, hey, there's a charter outfit here looking for pilots, and one thing led to another, and so I fly part-time for a charter company known as Unity Airlines. This is one of their airplanes, and we're a Part 135 operation, cargo, passengers, and we basically fly to all 28, is it 28 or 26? Anyways, let's call it 28, all 28 runways in Vanuatu, north to south, and we transport people and goods. For example, today I took some people up to Norsep on the island of Malakula, and I'm bringing back exam boxes. It's the end of the school year, final exams have been done at the schools, and they're sending the exam boxes all back to the capital for marking, for grading. So makes for absolutely challenging days sometimes with weather, short strips, unprepared strips, but by far I would say very fun, great people to work with, and yeah, so I fly the Brit Norman Islander, little light twin, 260 horsepower aside, maximum takeoff weight of 2,994 kilograms, just shy of 3,000 kilograms, so about 3 tons max takeoff weight, and yeah, and who knows where the future will take me. This is just a fun gig that I do. I'm not necessarily planning to still fly as a career until retirement. Like I said, I've been working in transport logistics at a desk job for the last decade. I might end up staying there until retirement, who knows. But this is a fun gig. It brings life, it brings color into life, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's my journey so far. Feel free to comment, ask questions. I love the questions that you guys send me. I get a lot of questions on private message all over social media. So keep them coming. And for those of you that are wanting to get into aviation, keep the questions coming. I'm always happy to give you tips and recommendations. So yeah, for those of you that are flying, happy flying. For those of you that are wanting to fly, all the best with your future.